Okay, so then now we are going to understand the sexual reproduction in flowering plant. So for performing sexual reproduction in plant. So flower contain like all the required organ which are responsible for sexual reproduction. Okay, so as we can see here in diagram, we are watching one picture is over here of the flower. Okay, here we have different parts of the flower that we have to discuss one by one. Okay, so first we have to discuss about like little detail before going to the diagram. Okay, so in flowering plant, male and female reproductive structure can be found in the same individual plant. Means the female reproductive part as well as male reproductive part, which is found on maybe the same flower or different flower but on the same plant itself. Okay, the organ of the sexual reproduction for the plant is the flower. Okay, flower is the only part of the plant which is responsible for sexual reproduction. Here we have male gamete found on the in pollen grains. Okay, see, very important. Male gametes of the plant, okay, they found in pollen grains, okay, and produce in the anther. Okay, so I'm just going to draw anther over here. Okay, so here we have anther. Anther generally they are bilobed structure like this. Okay, here we have pollen grains. This is the anther. This is the anther. Okay, and here we have pollen grains. Pollen grains. And pollen grains contain male gametes. Okay, pollen grains they contain beta male gametes.
So nectar कहाँ पे रहता है flowers का?
I will discuss that also. Wait a second. Male gamete. Okay. Okay. This is that we will discuss in pollination part. Beta, don't worry. Okay. Okay. Yes. So here produce in the anther of the flower. So this is nothing but the male part of the flower, and it is combinedly called as androecium. Androecium. Okay, so androecium is the male part of the flower which consists of the anther. Anther contain pollen grains, and inside the pollen grain we have male germ cell, or they are called as male gametes. Male gametes are also called as male germ cell. Understood everyone that much?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next
Yes,
part.
sir.
Now we are going to discuss about the female germ, like female reproductive part of the flower. So female gametes are found in ovules and produce in the ori of the flower. So let me draw a diagram for that also. Suppose here we have, this is the stigma of the flower. Okay, this is the stigma, and from here one tube-like structure is developed here. Okay, then here we have at the base of the flower, which is the ovary. Okay, so this is called as beta stigma. This is called as stigma. Stigma. This is called as style, and this is called as ovary. And inside the ovary we have ovules. Here we have ovules. Okay, inside the ovary we have ovule. So this is ovule. Ovule is nothing but the egg cell. Egg cell is also called as female germ cell. Female germ cell. Okay, and this complete part of the flower is the female reproductive part, and which is called as beta gynoecium. Which is called as gynoecium. G-Y-A-N-O-C-I-U-M. It is called as gynoecium. Okay, so here we have the two main organ of the plant. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part and androecium is the male reproductive part. Understood, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so let's discuss the parts of the flower. This is, the blue structure which is called as beta petals. And petals have another name called corolla. They are called as corolla. Okay. And then we have anther that we have discussed. This is the anther that we have discussed here. Then we have, see, this is the anther. Okay. And here we have, see, anther, stamen and filament. So this part is called as stamen. Okay. This is stamen. And this is called as filament. Okay, stamen, filament and pollen grain forms the anther. Okay, so these are the anther. Okay, then we have stigma. Here we have the stigma, that part which is very sticky. Generally pollen grains, they used to fall on the stigma and they germinate from there itself. Okay, then we have ovary at the base of the flower. We have ovary at the base of the flower. Then at the ovary, inside the ovary, we have ovules. This is the ovary, and inside the ovary, we have ovule, and ovule is nothing but the female egg germ cell, and which is called as beta egg cell. Okay, and here we have the nectary part. Here generally, like sweet, watery sugar substance is released from here, and which have fragrance also, by which other insect they used to get attracted toward the flower for the sucking nectar. And during when they when they are sitting on the flower and when they are flying from there, that pollen grains they used to stick on their legs and they spread over the stigma. Okay, this process of transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma is called as pollination. And this is the part base at the base of the flower is called as beta sepals. It is called as sepal, and sepal is also called as calyx. S-E-P-A-L. It is a sepal, and which is also called as calyx. C-A-L-Y-X. So the main part of the flowers are, I am just underlining with the blue ink. Okay, so first part is called as corolla, then we have calyx, then we have androecium, and we have gynoecium. These are the main four part of the flower. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Plant that contributes to the process of reproduction. Typically, a flower has four whorls: calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. The outermost wall is the calyx, which consists of sepals that are green, leaf-like structures that protect the flower in its bud stage. The sepals can be either free or united. When free, the calyx is called polysepalous, and when united, the calyx is called gamosepalous. The next inner whorl is the corolla, which consists of petals that are usually thin and soft. There is a wide variety in the color and shape of the corolla. It can be in the shape of a wheel, funnel, or bell, and is sometimes tubular. The primary function of the corolla is to attract insects and birds for pollination. Like the calyx, the petals of the corolla can be either united or free. When united, the corolla is called gamopetalous, and when free, it is called polypetalous. The arrangement of the sepals and petals also characterizes a flower. The positional arrangement of the sepals and petals with respect to other members of the same wall within a flower bud is called aestivation. Aestivation is of many types. However, the main ones are valvate, twisted, imbricate, and vexillary. In valvate aestivation, the sepals or petals within a wall touch each other at the margin with no overlapping, while in twisted aestivation, one sepal or petal overlaps that of the next one, and so on. In imbricate aestivation, the margins of the sepals or petals overlap one another, but in no particular direction. And finally, in vexillary aestivation, each sepal or petal covers the sepal or petal that is within it. Now let's learn about andrecium, the wall inner to the corolla. The andrecium consists of stamens, which are the male reproductive organs of a flower. Generally, each stamen has a stalk called the filament and an anther at the tip. The anther usually has two lobes, each with two chambers, which are the pollen sacs. The pollen sacs contain pollen grains. A stamen that is sterile is called a staminode. Moreover, the filaments of a stamen can be of different lengths, as in mustard and salvia. The stamens can also be attached to each other or to other parts of the flower. For example, in the mustard flower, the stamens are epipetalous or are attached to the petals, while in the lily, the stamens are epiphyllous or are attached to the perianth. Stamens can also remain free or polyandrous, as in lily, or united in varying degrees, as in China rose, the pea plant, and citrus plants. In China rose, the stamens are united into one bundle and are called monoadelphous. In the pea flower, the stamens are grouped into two bundles and are called diadelphous. And in the lemon flower, the stamens are grouped into more than two bundles and are known as polyadelphous. Now, the innermost wall is the gynecium. It consists of one or more carpels, which are the female reproductive organs of a flower. The carpels can be either fused or free. For example, in tomato and mustard, the carpels are fused and are called syncarpous, while in rose and lotus, the carpels are free and are called apocarpous. Each carpel has three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. The stigma is the part of the carpel that receives the pollen grains. The style is the elongated tube that lies on the ovary and connects it to the stigma. An ovary is the enlarged basal part and bears one or more ovules, which are attached to a placenta that is soft and flat. Once fertilization takes place, the ovules form the seeds and the ovary develops into the fruit. The arrangement of ovules within an ovary is called placentation. There are different types of placentation: axial, parietal, basal, free or central, and marginal. In axial placentation, the placenta is axial and the ovules are attached to it in a multilocular ovary, as in lemon and tomato. In parietal placentation, the ovary is initially single-chambered. A false septum later develops and divides it into two chambers. The ovules develop on the peripheral or inner wall of the ovary. Parietal placentation is seen in plants such as cucumber and melons. When the placenta develops at the base of the ovary and a single ovule is attached to it, the placentation is called basal placentation. This is seen in marigold and sunflower. In free or central placentation, septa are absent and the ovules develop on the central axis, as seen in primrose and dianthus. Finally, in marginal placentation, along the ventral suture of the ovary, the placenta forms a ridge The ovules are borne on this ridge in 2 rows as seen in the pea plant. The calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium are the 4 whorls of a flower. The calyx and the corolla are the accessory whorls, while the androecium and the gynoecium are the reproductive organs.
So these are the plant flowers part. Okay, plant के flower के कुछ parts है जो हमको याद रखना है. Okay, sepals, it is protect the unopened flower during the budding. जब flower bud के form में होता है ना, उस समय उसको protect करने का काम करता है sepals. Then we have petals. Petals may be brightly colored and scented to attract the insect. ये insect को attract करने के लिए scented भी हो सकते हैं, उसमें fragrance आएगी. And they may be brightly colored, वो अलग अलग color के हो सकते हैं. Stamen, the male part of the flower consisting of the anther and held upon the filament. Then we have anther. Anther produce the male gamete, which is nothing but the pollen grains, and pollen grain contain male gamete called male germ cell. Then we have stigma, the top of the female part of the flower, which collect the pollen grains that we have already gone through with the video. And ovary is the bottom of the female part of the flower, produce the female gamete, which is nothing but the egg cell or ovules. And nectary may be present to produce the sugary nectar to attract the insects. Okay, so these are all the important parts of the flower with their function. Okay, so this is the
Sir.
structure and this is the function part. Yes, beta.
सर ये नेक्टर ही के सामने मे बी क्यों लिखा है, यानी हर प्लांट में नेक्टर हो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है?
No.
ठीक है सर.
Okay. So take a screenshot for that also.
Done, sir. Screenshot.
Sir.